Something I've realized since understanding that I'm psychic is that being psychic has been mystified quite a bit. The reality is that we all get intuitive nudges throughout our day. Once I learned to tap into these gifts, once I learned to tap into these senses, the stronger they became. But there's definitely a few things that have helped me really step into my psychic gifts, and I want to share 3 of the most powerful ones with you today. These are really easy, simple ways to get yourself started or to deepen your journey of tuning into your natural metaphysical gifts. First, I want to start out with listening. You're getting these intuitive nudges all the time, but we are so in our material world that we're not really tuning into them or picking up on them, or sometimes we do get them and we just ignore them. Maybe we don't realize what it is, or we use our mind to talk ourselves out of it. But you're getting the messages. It's just a matter of being able to tune into them and start following them and listening to them. And, it can start with your day to day. Oh, grab this as you're walking out the door. Grab the thing. And it's funny because life will show you typically throughout the day why you grabbed that thing. And you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I listened to my intuition. That kind of listening gives you this confirmation that keeps you looking for more of those things and causes them to come in more frequently and in bigger capacity. So there's these little nudges, but also we get messages. We get messages from our guides. We get messages from the natural environment. We get messages from other people's energy. We're always getting these messages. So listening to them, for one, builds your confidence, but it also shows your guides in the universe that you're listening. So the more that they can trust you with, the more that you'll receive. Plus, like I said, there's already so much happening that we're not tuning into, that just by practicing tuning in, you're exposed to more and more of these messages. But it takes a bit of courage to actually step out when you're receiving a message about someone else. You're around this person, and every time you keep getting this message over and over again, saying it out loud and seeing what happens. Do this with people that you trust. Practice with a friend. You can do different exercises, and I'll make another video of that, like more exercises that you can do to help sharpen your intuition. But there's different things that you can do to practice this, but the more you listen to these nudges, the more of them you'll get. And that's one thing I've learned is start small, but as I heed these messages, as I deliver these messages, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. This also happens with like downloads that I receive, information that I receive for the collective. For so long would get these downloads and I'd write them down. I mean, my notes app is just like absolutely full of like really profound understandings. But I felt like there was a certain amount I needed to have to be qualified to share these things. But now what I've realized is like those messages had kind of tapered off, and I was just getting the same messages over and over again. And that's because I wasn't delivering the messages. And at one point, my guides actually said this to me. They're like, we are not going to give you anything else until you use what we've given you. And that's what happens if we're not using our voice, we're not allowing our intuition to speak, then it's just going to go through someone else, which is great because the message needs to get out there. But I promise you, it's way more gratifying when it comes from you than when you watch what you knew come from someone else and you're like, oh, I missed that opportunity. So yeah, that number one thing, start listening and acting upon those intuitive nudges, and they will automatically get stronger. The second thing that really helped me develop my intuition is this place where I live. I moved into this home and I am surrounded by nature. But it's not just that. I can find nature in a lot of places. And we all, even if you're living in a city, there's parks, there's trees, there's places where you can go and be in nature. And by tuning into nature, like really getting quiet and listening, I started receiving messages. And they're very subtle. But I started receiving these messages from the trees, from the plants around me. And that helped me understand the subtlety of different energies. And as I receive more and more of these messages, the stronger they get. But just being in nature in general, just spending time with the trees in quiet so that my senses can attune to other energies has really helped me and opened my intuition up. Plus, it's our nature, right? We are of the earth. We are a part of nature. So when we are spending time in that frequency, when we get our bare feet on the ground, when we are listening to the trees, when we're breathing in the fresh air, when we're in the present moment and experiencing the natural world around us, it heightens our senses and it makes it easier to receive messages. So not only can you receive the messages from nature, but you just get more sensitive in general. And it's that quiet, that space. Even if it's just taking a walk in nature in the morning, it's going to start to help you open up to a realm outside of this very physical 3D realm that we're living in, right? In the world that we live with our day-to-day lives. Something about plugging into nature just really helps us plug into our communication with the world around us in general. I made a book called Back to Nature, and it's like 30 exercises to help you to reconnect with nature. And I highly recommend it. I had it out last year, and then I got all this inspiration, and I redid it. I redid the graphics. I made new exercises in there. I tweaked it in so many wonderful ways, and I just fall in love with this book more and more every day. I'm going to put a link for it down below. There's one if you want to buy it from Amazon. If you're looking to save the money, it's a black and white copy. But also, if you don't want to support Amazon, there is another one. It's full color. It's really beautiful, through an independent publisher. There's a link for both, so you can choose whichever one works best for you. But just reconnecting with nature in general heightens your senses. There's a story about a man who was studying this indigenous tribe in South America, and they were so shocked that he couldn't hear the stars. And I think that says so much. I don't know about you, but I want to hear the stars, right? And in order to hear the things that the natural world is constantly communicating with us, we have to slow down, get quiet, and tune into it. We have to expose ourselves to it. So my number 2, 100% get in nature. It's so important. I feel like it's right up there with number 1. It's just get yourself in nature. It will make such a big difference in your intuition. And thirdly, but not last, I'm going to give you something really practical. And it sounds silly, but I promise, just try it. And maybe it doesn't sound silly. Maybe you've even done this before, but just try it. Give it a shot. See what you think. I think you'll get a lot out of it. This is intuitive writing. So get yourself in a quiet space to where even if you just take a couple of minutes to do some deep breaths, close your eyes, tune in, feel yourself in your body. A way I like to do this is I'll check in with my senses. What can I smell right now? What can I hear right now? What can I feel right now? What can I see if my eyes are open? And just really drop in and get present. And from that space, I want you to just ask some questions. Ask, what should I do with my day today? Or what is a great way for me to increase my intuition? What would you like for me to know today? Write these questions and then just start writing immediately what comes through. Don't think about it. Don't question it. Don't question where it's coming from. Just start writing where it's coming through. One, the writer Elizabeth Gilbert uses that I love is, love, what would you have me know today? And then she writes what comes out intuitively, which is going to come from our highest, most loving self. And this is just such a great way to learn how to tune in, because when you do this and you see what comes through intuitively, it just makes you more familiar with that voice, and it gets you in the flow of just receiving messages and putting them out, whether it's on paper or in your voice. If you don't like to write, if you don't like to journal, you can use your voice notes to do this, whatever way works for you. But just doing a call and response to where you ask questions and listen to the messages that come in without judgment, without questioning, without sending it to your mind to logic or reason it out, but just directly listening to it and letting that message come through you. So I feel like these are really 3 very practical, easy steps for reconnecting with your psychic gifts, because we all have them, and learning what yours are and how to use them is just going to increase your quality of life so much and increase your impact on the world around you. If you want to keep learning more about this, tuning into your psychic gifts, living authentically, just fully showing up in this beautiful self that you came here to be, then you're in the right place. Subscribe, like, share, all the things. Leave me a comment. I love interacting with you. So please leave me a comment, and I'll be back with more. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'm so proud of you, and have a wonderful day.